They say time heals all wounds. But what happens when love shows up while you're still bleeding? What if your heart hasn't finished stitching itself back together, and yet someone walks in, offering warmth, presence, and connection? Do you close the door gently and promise to revisit love later? Or do you step forward wondering if maybe, just maybe, healing and loving can happen at the same time? The idea of healing is often romanticized. We imagine it as a neat, linear journey. We see ourselves withdrawing from the world, curling up in self-care, doing the inner work, and then emerging anew, a version of ourselves untouched by past pain, clear-minded, and glowing. It's a beautiful vision. But the truth? Healing is messy. It's not a straight line. It loops, it regresses, it surprises you. And sometimes, just when you think you're making progress, something small triggers a wave of old pain. So does it make sense to place love on hold until this uncertain, fluid process is complete? On one hand, there's wisdom in waiting. When we're in pain, we're vulnerable. We may project old wounds onto new people. We may mistake connection for salvation. We might see someone as the answer to our healing, rather than a separate person with their own complexities. Entering a relationship in this state can feel like building a house during a storm. Every gust of wind shakes the foundation. Every crack in the walls feels monumental. You might find yourself anxious, overly attached, or fearful of abandonment. You might compare, ruminate, or seek validation in ways that echo your unhealed past. And those behaviors, while human, can sabotage a budding connection. It can lead to confusion, hurt feelings, or even deeper wounds than you started with. But here's the other side of the story. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. Some of the most profound healing comes in connection, through intimacy, through being seen, through the friction and the beauty of relationship. When you're with someone who meets you with compassion, who holds space for your scars without trying to fix them, something transformative can happen. Relationships, especially the early ones, mirror our inner world. They reflect our needs, our fears, our hopes. They surface the unfinished business we thought we'd buried. And that mirror can be a powerful tool for growth. If you can hold it gently, if you can approach it consciously, dating while healing can actually accelerate your inner journey. Still, that doesn't mean it's easy, or even always advisable. The key is not in whether you date or wait. It's in how you do either. Are you dating because you're avoiding pain, or because you're ready to explore with awareness? Are you waiting because you're honoring your process, or because you're afraid of being hurt again? So much of this comes down to intention. Imagine standing at the edge of a river. You could jump in to avoid the discomfort of the shore, or you could wait until you're ready to swim, not because the river is dangerous, but because you want to move through it with presence. Many people equate healing with solitude, and solitude can be sacred. Taking time to know yourself, to grieve, to recalibrate your sense of worth and identity after loss or trauma, that space is invaluable. But healing in solitude is only one side of the coin. The other is healing in connection. We are relational beings. We are wired for intimacy. Sometimes it takes another person to show us the parts of ourselves we haven't yet forgiven. You might start dating while healing and realize that you're still carrying bitterness. You might find yourself reacting to small things with disproportionate emotion. You might struggle to trust. These aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs that you're human. And recognizing these patterns, especially in a relationship, can illuminate the exact areas that need your attention. Dating while healing isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about being honest with yourself and with your partner. It's about saying, I'm still figuring some things out, but I'm here and I'm willing to learn. It's about showing up with curiosity instead of certainty. But vulnerability requires discernment. Not everyone is equipped to walk with you through your healing. Some people might trigger your wounds rather than soothe them. Some relationships might echo the very dynamics you're trying to move away from. So it's not just about whether you're ready. It's also about whether the connection is right. One of the biggest myths in love is the idea that you have to be fully healed to be worthy of a healthy relationship. But no one is ever fully healed. Not really. We're all works in progress. The difference lies in awareness, in the willingness to own your patterns, to apologize when you project, to step back when you're overwhelmed, to seek support instead of placing the burden on your partner. The truth is, love can be both a balm and a challenge. It can soothe old wounds while also pressing on them. And that's why intentionality matters. Are you entering this new relationship to escape loneliness? To prove something to your ex? To validate your self-worth? Or are you entering it with eyes open, aware of your healing, willing to hold both your joy and your discomfort? Sometimes the answer is to wait, to pause, to give yourself the gift of time, to rebuild your foundation before you invite someone else in. Other times the answer is to step forward, to try, to allow someone to witness your process. Not to complete it, but to complement it. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep asking the right questions. What am I hoping to find in this relationship? What parts of me are still tender? How can I communicate my needs without making them someone else's responsibility? How do I hold space for someone else while still protecting my own heart? Dating while healing is not a sign of weakness, nor is choosing to wait. Both can be acts of courage. Both require self-awareness, and both, when approached with care, can lead to profound growth. It all comes back to honesty. Can you be honest with yourself about your intentions? Can you be honest with someone else about your journey? Can you embrace the messiness without using it as an excuse to hurt others or abandon yourself? There's no universal timeline, no perfect checklist that says, now you're ready. Readiness is not a destination. It's a state of being. It's a blend of openness, resilience, and humility. Some people enter relationships too soon and get hurt. Others wait too long and miss connections out of fear. The answer isn't in a rule book. It's in your own capacity to hold space for yourself and for someone else at the same time. Maybe you go on a few dates and realize you're not ready. That's okay. Maybe you meet someone who invites you into a deeper kind of healing. That's okay too. The key is to stay present with yourself, to listen, to adjust, to forgive yourself when you stumble. Healing isn't about arriving at perfection. It's about becoming more whole. And sometimes becoming whole means sharing your journey, even when it's unfinished. So should you wait or dive in? The answer lives in the nuance, in the honest conversations you have with yourself late at night, in the small choices you make every day, in the courage to admit when something doesn't feel right, in the grace to begin again.